Hi
Hello.
guys. This
Well, it's
is
your first episode.
yeah. I'm Missy and she is
Olivia.
and this is Missy and Olivia Unfiltered.
Yeah. We're gonna say like good things about ourselves and then we will um get into the video.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get in today's episode.
Yeah.
Also, ignore my voice right now. I have a sore throat.
What?
I was telling them to ignore my voice because I have a sore throat.
Okay, so you go. You explain yourself first.
Okay, so I am besties with Olivia. I'm an omnivert, means I'm not introvert, but I'm not extrovert either. I'm like in between. And I love art, music, and reading fantasy books.
Okay. This is me. No guys. I'm best friends with Missy. I am complete extrovert. So and I love looking at horror stuff. I love reading. I don't really like fantasy books, but I love reading rom-com, like romance books and drama books, contemporary drama and in horror books and horror.
Yes, we are going to get into today's episode, what is today's episode, Olivia?
It's Reddit stories horror.
Yes, scary Reddit stories, posted by probably some of you guys. So,
Yeah.
also, just so y'all know, if you guys have any, suggestions for a new episode on this podcast, drop them in the comments below, and we skim through the comments, and we will read. And,
Or if you have a story to tell of your own that you want us to talk about.
yeah, that too. Because here we talk about stories from online, your guys' stories that you send us, topics that you guys send us, topics we think of, and our stories.
Yeah.
That's basically everything. So if you have like a silly story of like how you face planted in a pig pen in the middle of Texas, not me, but just send it in and we'll read it.
Yeah, we accept any story. We accept funny. We accept comedy. We accept horror. We accept, I don't know.
Yeah, as long as it's not inappropriate, we will most likely do it on the podcast. And if we don't do yours, then it's probably because we only chose a few, and we'll probably get to yours in a later episode.
Yeah, or we're gonna obviously read it when you post it. Though. We'll read it.
Yeah, so we know your guys' stories. Even though if they're not on the podcast, don't get discouraged because we know them and we will probably use them later.
We'll probably reply to your comments that you post the stories.
Yeah, we will always reply. As long as we see them.
Okay. Let's get into the story now. She's probably gonna read most of the thing. We'll still stop and like talk, about like cool parts and stuff. But like I don't have it right now. She's gonna be reading it, and then I'll probably read next episodes.
Yeah, she'll be reading next episode, but this episode I'm reading. Okay, so this one was by Say Janik. It was posted 6 years ago. Also, if you guys want to check out the Reddit thing I'm reading, it's called "What is the scariest stories you know that are 100% true?" But Say Janik says, "I wouldn't call it creepy more than scary." Or I would call it creepy more than scary. But my mom's friend had a small house and lived alone. She noticed weird things: a batch of soup depleting faster than usual, missing eggs, damp towels in the hamper when she hadn't used any extra dishes in the dishwasher, etc., etc. This went on for months. She thought that she was just being forgetful. One day she heard a thumping around in her attic and went to investigate. She found some makeshift living quarters: small radio, hot plate, sleeping bag, pillow, food wrappers, etc., etc. Anything you need to live. She called the cops, who came and to keep an eye on the place. They ended up catching a homeless man climbing in a tree trying to sneak into the window of her attic.
Wait. What the heck?
What?
What the heck is that story?
So,
I know. I'm just saying it's weird.
yeah, yeah.
Damp towels?
Yeah.
Or almost towels?
He had been using her stuff and living in her attic.
A minute, if I sold damn towels, if I lived alone, I sold damn towels in my laundry basket. Oh my god, I'm bolting out. I'm going to the police station and I'm telling them.
Yeah, but the rest of the story is he had been doing it almost daily. He would wait for her to go to work, then go downstairs and help himself to food and amenities. The funny part about this story is they got to know each other throughout the whole ordeal, and the guy was actually very respectful, just down on his luck. She didn't press charges, instead let him move in and helped him get a job. And he
What
lived in
the
the attic until he got back on his feet. Creepy
guys?
stuff with a happy ending.
Guys, okay, look at me. I know you want to be nice. Don't let random people move into your houses. This is like a friend, you meet them, but like if they're just random and you literally don't know them, I guess it would be nice maybe buy a house for them, buy an apartment or something like that, like pay for an apartment, rent a house with them. But like living with them and you don't even know them is kind of
Yeah, that's how you get killed by a serial killer.
like you do you boo, but like I'm just giving you a warning. Like I get he was nice, but there's chances are that you could have been something else and they weren't nice.
Like Robert Pigton, people trusted him. He was a random stranger and then he murdered women. Or Ted Bundy, random people trusted him, but he ended up killing people.
Yeah, and that's like one of the biggest serial killers alive. Not alive. He's still alive, but he's like in death row. What?
No, Ted Bundy is dead.
He is dead. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, he is dead. He got taken.
he got put in the electric chair.
I was thinking about a different one.
Okay, this next one is by Oxidice. It was also 6 years ago. My mom was driving and a guy ran out in the road, so she stopped so she didn't hit him. It was nighttime, so pretty dark out. Another three men emerged from the forest around, all trying to get the door handles of her car to get in. She locked them, luckily, and gassed to the nearest town. So, like, she sped down the road. She went Mach 5 down the highway to the nearest town.
Okay.
Yeah, she, like, got out of there. Remember to always lock your car doors before you start it, because if it was unlocked, who would have known what would have happened to her?
Oh dang.
Yeah, like three creepy men come out of. Okay, this reminds me. Okay, sorry, I'm getting off topic, but this reminds me of a story that happened when I was in South Dakota when I was in 5th grade. I think Olivia
Mhm.
remembers me going down to South Dakota during 5th grade,
Yeah.
and I think I told Olivia about this. We were at a Native American like cemetery going around, and it's illegal to carry a gun there. But my mom had it in her backpack. She can't get charged for it now. It's only if they catch you on the property with it.
Yeah.
So like she won't get charged for anything now if anyone calls the police on her. But so basically, it saved our lives because she was talking about how they needed a new weed eater and money, and my grandpa had this big thing of money sticking out of his pocket because
Yeah.
I don't mean anything against my grandpa. He's kind of stupid having all that money out in the open.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But then, like, three men were coming out of the brush to jump us. Because me and my mom saw it, and they were coming out of the brush. And then the lady in front of us was still yapping, and then she saw the handle of my mom's gun and was, like, snapping and telling them to go back, and then pointing to my mom's concealed and carry bag.
Hmm.
And they looked and then went back in the brush. And it kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah.
But,
I actually have one thing to say. I found this story in Reddit. They just had it saved for a long time ago, and it's actually pretty cool. I
okay.
haven't read it in a while, so I don't really remember.
Okay.
This is under. Oh, I'm sorry. I clicked on something else. Okay. This is under. What is your most disturbing, scary, or creepy real story?
Okay.
The user. This was 11 years ago. I know it's old, but like it's still cool stories.
Yeah.
Um, the username is deleted, but the comments are still there. So I don't know who it is. It's deleted, but I'm gonna look it up. Look. A few years ago, I was walking through the woods off the beaten track a bit, and I smelled this really overpowering sweet smell. Being nosy, I pulled back the undergrowth to have a look, and I found a dead body. Whoa, I haven't read this in a while.
Why is that a sweet smell?
I don't know. I don't know what this guy
Okay,
was thinking. Was
so
he the murderer?
unfortunately, it's not a human body, but I've accidentally like come across a deer carcass. It doesn't smell good.
Yeah,
And for
human body
those
doesn't
and
smell
for
good.
those of you
Hopefully
who
not.
don't know what a carcass is just a decomposed, like decaying dead body.
Yeah. They don't smell sweet. I think they don't smell sweet. I haven't smelled one, but I don't think they do.
No, I've smelled like two, and they were like animal carcasses. I don't know how humans smell, but I imagine they don't smell good.
Yeah. Okay, let's continue.
Okay,
The guy had clearly been there a while and wasn't looking great, all swollen and green and black with various runny bits. The local wildlife had also been dining, well, for a few days. Like, I mean, like, dying, decomposing the dead body. So, like, dining on it, he was trying to say,
they were
like,
eating it.
yeah. I called the police, who told me to wait with the body until they arrived. Why would they tell you that? I guess, like, to
No,
watch it, but that
because
would still be scary.
no, they shouldn't have told them that. Because now they can be considered a suspect because their fingerprints are going to be at the crime scene
Yeah.
and like
Uh,
chew marks.
being in the middle of nowhere, it took a while for them to arrive, and it got dark, and I was just sat there in the dark with him for a long time. Oh my God, they would not
Oh
tell you to do that. To stand by the dead body
no!
for a couple of hours until it got dark. If there was a dead body, there could be the
Yeah,
murderer around, or like someone who
yeah.
did it around.
Sorry, we're making an episode, Mom. Sorry, we're making a podcast episode right now. Okay, guys, my mom's here now. It's a podcast episode, Mom. We're reading creepy Reddit stories. I made sure they are appropriate before I read them.
Oh, have you checked out creepypasta?
Yeah, I did before I got on Reddit. Okay, anyway, we're off track now because of my mom. Okay, continue.
Hi, Mickey's mom.
I miss you. Okay, but
Is he
no,
still there?
even 11 years ago, like, police are smart enough to know that, like, don't wait with a dead body. Get in your car, like, wait around to make sure no one comes to, like, take it away. But, like, wait in your car so fingerprints and stuff aren't at the crime scene.
Yeah. Is your mom still there?
She's in the kitchen.
Well, I was gonna say hi. Come on, let's keep walking.
Olivia says hi.
Hi. It turns out he had committed. Oh, it's not a murder story. Sorry, guys. It's not. I thought it was. He had committed suicide for a long time afterwards.
He committed suicide.
I had dreams about him, and he would talk to me and not nice things. Mainly about now he was angry and I disturbed his resting place, and he wanted me to like probably just in my imagination, but all pretty disturbing at the same time. He still turns up in my dreams from time to time, and no doubt will be tonight after typing this. Okay, so
Oh,
that is creepy.
yeah.
There's a lot more, and they're like, oh my God. This one's about like sleeping on a deserted road.
Oh, like I have nightmares, and like, but not that bad where someone's telling me to die or something.
Yeah, that's why like so and I think why he was having those dreams is called trauma. Like I would if I see a dead body I would freak out.
That's traumatic. Seeing a dead body is very traumatic, and he probably has PTSD from that now. Or
Yeah.
they. I don't know if it's he or she.
I want to read this one. I think it's good. I think it's okay.
Okay, and then I have one I found.
Okay. This one's in the same category. It's also a deleted thing. It's also 11 years ago. It's also a deleted name.
Yeah.
About 2 years ago, I was driving from a family reunion party late at night, and the drive was about 2 hours. I didn't stay the night because I had to be back for work the following day. Most of the drive was on roads with dense bushes and trees on either side, the real creepy ones you see in a lot of movies. Anyway, I had been driving for about 45 minutes, and if I'm reading fast, you gotta tell me because I'm a fast talker.
Yeah.
And I was starting to get really tired. You know how sometimes you just suddenly become really tired out of nowhere? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Happens a lot.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that happened to me. I knew I wasn't going to last, but I didn't come across any place that I felt like I could park and sleep safely. Anyway, after it became clear to me that I wasn't going to find a place to pull up and my tiredness wasn't going away, I did something very questionable. I pulled over to the side of the road, onto the grass behind some bushes, and tried to hide my car from anyone else who was coming past. The roads weren't empty. I came across another car every few minutes or so. Guys, don't just park your car in the middle of the night and sleep in it. In deserted road. In deserted
I
road.
mean, truckers do that sometimes because they don't have a lot of time to sleep. But like, at least they like lock it with like a seat belt and like lock the car. So if anyone tries to get in, they can't.
And usually, if they do that, there's a lot of truck stopping places. But for normal cars, you can't stop at those. But like,
Yeah.
I'm like, just don't do that, guys. Guys, just never do
Yeah,
that.
I think I've done that once, but it was like we were like it was like in a parking lot, and we like because we couldn't find a hotel nearby, and we like did like the seatbelt trick to where like people can't open the door because of the seatbelt and stuff like that.
Yeah, he just pulled on the deserted road, hide behind bushes and stuff. So you're not supposed to do that, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's he or she, so I'm sorry if I said it wrong. He or she or they, I don't know. I'm just gonna say that. I made a mental note that the time was 11:22 and then fell asleep. 11:22. If they said that, I feel like we should remember that maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometime later, I was awoken by a scratching noise, and I looked at the clock. 11:50. So not too long after. The sound stopped after a few seconds later, and because I was extremely tired, I didn't bother looking around and simply went back to sleep. If you're sleeping on the side of the road, which you shouldn't do, and then you hear a scratching noise, you don't go back to sleep. You don't.
No, because for all you know, it could be a bear.
Yeah, or someone, and I don't even know. Just don't go back to sleep.
Depending
Like, look,
on where you are, it could be like a bear, a mountain lion. Also, guys, if you didn't already know this, if you hear a woman screaming, no matter how real it sounds, like woman, little girl, I don't care how good you think you're being running towards it, don't, because for all you know, it could be a mountain lion.
yeah.
Because their like screams they sound like women screaming.
Some the sound. Wait, okay, God, whatever I was. I was later woken by the same sounds, and it was 12:40. This time, it really freaked me out because the sound didn't stop. The thought right across my mind: what if it was an animal inspecting my car? But why would it just return after an hour? If it had left the previous time. I don't think it's an animal.
I don't either. I think it's a ghost. You about to get possessed. Poltergeist.
No. I looked in my rearview mirror and I just managed to catch a glimpse of something running into the forest. Now at the time, I thought it was the hook killer. You know, the one that scratched a couple's car and slaughtered the guy when he got on investigation? No, I don't know that, but now I know.
Yeah. I thought it was like a poltergeist, like ooga booga, nightmare, nightmare, nightmare. You're about to die and get possessed.
This is what I would do. If someone was scratching my car the first time, I would just go. I would drive away. I'm not going to go investigate because that's probably a worse idea. To get out of your car and go look, which is also a good idea. Look in the rearview mirror or something. Just don't get out. I want to get out of your car.
Yeah, no. And like I wouldn't even look in the rearview mirror. I'd be off. Like I'd make sure no one was in like the back seat. But if they're like outside my car, I'm gone. Like I'm Mach 5 down the highway, not even stopping until I reach a police station or somewhere safe.
Yeah. I thought to myself, so I gotta get out of here. There was a bend no more than 100 yards up the road. As I came around it, there is a car parked off to the side of the road, with the driver's side door opened. Oh no! I slowed down just to look to see if anyone was in there. There wasn't. Then I looked around my rearview mirror. I didn't see anything, and all of a sudden, this guy comes sprinting around the corner. He starts screaming at me and shouting stuff like, "Hey, hey, get out of my car! It's out of you. No, it says get out of your car now." I noped out of there and sped off, and I never saw that guy again. Moral of the story: don't sleep on the side of the road, a deserted road. See if you
Yeah.
can find what was left.
Okay, it
Don't
said slept on a deserted road, and I thought it meant like they got out of the car and slept in like the middle of the road.
No.
No, but like if someone told me to get out of my car and was like that panicked, like I read too many of these, and like there's been like ones where it's like someone's falling and flashing their headlights or like honking their horn, and there ended up being someone in the car behind them.
I would just go. I would hit that pedal and go wee.
Yeah, no, I would if they were like frantic like that, I would probably like because the person's not gonna be wearing a seatbelt. I'd probably go like as fast as I can down the highway, like faster than the speed limit and then slam on the brakes so that way they went like through the windshield or hit the back of the seat. Then I would hear something and get out and run.
Yeah. I've also read I will just literally like immediately go. I cannot like I don't care. He gets hit by the car. He gets hit by the car. I'm not doing it, guys. I get arrested for hitting the car. I don't care. I'm not gonna be there.
Nope. Okay, here's
Okay.
mine. I don't
Okay.
know how to say that name. Like Cheruber.
You don't have to say it. Just do your best.
Yeah.
Or, like make a cover name like Zoe or like Bob or something like that.
It's Chiruadr.
Yeah, I'm not gonna know it.
Yeah.
Just
6 years ago, Neshaber train disaster. This is something that reminds me how death can come at any moment. Okay. A train with 51 wagons, sulfur, fertilizer, petrol, and cotton wool somehow broke loose and rolled down the track about 20 kilometers until it derailed in the town of Khayyam, Iran. I'm sorry to the people who are Iraq, like live in Iran.
man.
I don't know how to say it. Like,
Okay, guys, we're sorry we're kind of late. We're not the best at it.
yeah. There was no human on board. Chemical leaks ensued, and authorities tried to extinguish whatever fires broke out. At one point, the whole thing explodes, and it really explodes. The whole town of Khayyam was literally demolished. 3 nearby towns were badly damaged, and it was heard about 70 kilometers away. The wreckage continued to explode several days after. Around 300 people died and more than that injured. An earthquake of 3.6 on Richter scale was produced.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say because that's just sad.
Yeah, 300 people's a lot.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a really long one.
I found a lot of long ones.
Yeah, I'm trying to find like an extremely long one.
I'll look up some too. After you do yours again. Let's just you do two. So you do two, I
Okay,
do two.
I found one.
Okay, this is your second one.
Okay.
Go.
Okay. The name cuts off. It's like we sail the something. Oh no, go back. Oh nope. Okay, we sailed the something 6 years ago. Edited 6 years ago. Years ago, when I was 8, I said years ago a lot. Okay, years ago when I was 8, my family lived in a big weird house, kind of on the edge of a small town. The school district was in the middle of a big reconstructing. So even though we were a couple grades apart, my brother and I went to different schools and took different buses. This left me as the last person to leave in the morning and the first person to get home in the afternoon, which meant my job was to make sure all lights were off and the doors were locked. One morning, I noticed the basement door was open and the light was on. Heck no, I'm sprinting away. And lights were on.
Yeah.
So before I left, I turned off the lights and closed the door. When I got home in the afternoon, the light was on and the door was open again. Yep, no, I'm leaving. Bye.
Yeah, I don't get why these horror movie characters, they're like literally, it will be in a horror movie and they'll hear like a creaking noise and they're like, let's go investigate me. No, I'm jumping out my window.
Yeah, no.
I'm running.
I just assumed that I'd forgotten to actually take care of it, and I noticed in the morning. So when I noticed it in the morning, so I went over, turned off the light, and closed the door. When I got to the top of the basement stairs, I looked and there was a big shadowy male figure at the bottom of the staircase. I freaked out and slammed the door and pushed a bunch of boxes against it. then went and hid in my closet. For months, I didn't tell my family because I was positive that I had seen a ghost and no one would believe me. Then, about a year after the incident, my mom and her boyfriend realized small amounts of money had been going missing for months, totaling to about $800 and $900, but never more than 60 at once. So we all walked around the house with flashlights trying to figure out how they could have gotten in. Turns out the creep was climbing through a small hole on the outside of the house, shimmying through a crawl space, then coming into the house through the basement. Realizing I had been alone in the house with him on at least one occasion was one of the worst and most terrifying moments I've ever had. Edit. Wow, this blew up more than I expected. Okay.
Okay, that was creepy.
Yeah.
I found another 2 more, and it's pretty cool for my 2.
Okay.
But that was a weird one.
Yeah, that was weird.
As
Okay,
soon as I see that, I'm like, Mom, we're moving out. We're moving to the safest state or country in the world, and we're staying there. We're moving out of this house. You're never leaving me home alone again.
and I found 2 more.
What's that beeping that keeps happening? Is that from the screen recording?
Yeah, it's from the recording.
Okay. Let me, for my 2 more, and then you'll do your 2 more. So this is my 2 more. It's 12 years ago again, edited 11 years ago. I know, guys, it's weird that they're all like, that the cool ones are like a long time ago. I don't know why. Because these stuff doesn't happen as much anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, this is from my mom says I'm pretty.
Oh.
That's the thing.
Oh,
True
that's the
story
name. I
time.
was gonna be like, is that the title?
No,
That's a
it's
weird
just
title.
mom says I'm pretty. That's the name. True story time. I was about 4 or 5 years old, and my parents had just separated. My mom was living in a 2-bedroom apartment. I had my own room, but I preferred to sleep in her bed whenever I was staying with her. Our 2 bedrooms were at the end of the hallway, directly across from each other. Our apartment was on the first floor, and I remembered it was in the middle of the summer, and my mom had a window open in her room, which was directly above her bed, above the headboard. If I just don't get why people do this. If you, I guess like maybe like you want cool air in, like to the house,
Especially
like,
first floor. Don't open a window. Especially
oh
if you're
yeah.
gonna go to sleep.
The edit says, just to clarify, our apartment was on ground level.
Yeah. Like, no. Like, I'd open my window if I was like 8 stories in the sky. But like
Yeah.
ground level, no. That's how creeps get in your house.
And you can like open it like in daytime, or like when you're like it could be nighttime. You're staying with your stars, but you're not asleep and not
Yeah.
able to hear anything.
Yeah, but did it say that they were gonna take a nap or?
I just think it was nighttime because that was it. So that and it's about to say I woke up it says anyways I woke up in the middle of the night, and I remember sitting up, seeing that our cat was sitting in the door frame of my mom's room. Her room was open, and you could partially see into the bedroom. This was strange because our cat typically is always in bed with us. As I watched him he walked into my bedroom and meowed. I turned my face and my mom and wake her mom up. In 3 or 4 seconds, it took her to wake up and ask me what was wrong. We both looked back in the door frame, and there was a man standing by my door. Open door. No, I'm running. No, no, no.
Girl, I'm sitting by a window and now I'm terrified.
Whoa! I'm seeing my window too, but it's not open and it's closed. Okay, guys.
Mine's closed too. I'm just scared now.
Okay, why did I say that? Okay. Anyways, okay, let me go back to where I was. Sorry. Making his way out of my bedroom. I still don't know how she managed to do it so quickly, but my mother proceeded to pick me up and literally throw me out of the screen window. Again?
Okay. I know this is completely unrelated and it probably will make this kind of funny, but when you said that, all I could think of was like the Cut Epic song where it's like, "Give me that baby and I eat it off a tower."
Yeah, just eating them, but don't worry. He said, guys, this is the edit. Don't worry, man. Just to clarify, our apartment was on ground level, so my mom didn't hurl me out the window and give me potential paralysis. Just a 3-footish drop into the grass. Just thank you. Guys,
Ground level.
leave him out the
We're
window.
good. That doesn't make it like what? How is the man even? Oh, I'm scared to go in my room now that there's gonna be a man on the other side. Okay, there's not. I can use the bathroom in peace. Also, I'm gonna mute real quick, so there will not be a lot of comments from me for a second because I gotta mute. But
You'll be listening?
yes, I will be listening, and I will make comments as soon as I unmute.
Okay. She quickly followed, and we were able to start screaming for help, and someone called 911. The police came, but didn't see any signs of forced entry, only that our front door was unlocked, which led them to believe the man had exited that way. The strange thing was my mom swore up and down that she had locked that door that night with the deadbolt and chain lock. About a week later, she was cleaning the kitchen and opened up our water heater closet and found a notebook with names and drawings, as well as a pair of gloves and some gum wrappers. The police were called again, but all they could do was speculate that the man had been in our house and hid until we were asleep.
Oh heck nah, girl! I'd be moving
What
out.
the heck?
I'd be moving out, changing my name, changing my son's name, changing everything about my life, changing my hair color, my eye color, how I dress, everything, getting a whole new identity.
Yeah.
Like
I'm,
obviously like. Okay, so I know, again, unrelated, but this reminds me of the one where the guy was in their house with a pig mask and glued pennies to the ceiling. It was gonna kill the family. It was like someone they knew, like it was targeted. So I feel like this one was also the same way. Like
Yeah.
they knew them, and that's why they were so comfortable being in the house so long.
Imagine it was her dad, his or her, or their dad.
Oh my gosh, yes. Now I
Because
gotta
their
run.
parents just
Now I'm
separated.
gonna run up the stairs because I'm scared.
I don't think your dad. Maybe your dad's an amazing person. He probably is. I'm just saying that. I don't know. Okay.
I know,
This
because their
I'm gonna
parents
say
got
another
separated.
one.
So imagine it was the dad, and their dad. Okay, that's scary because my parents are separated.
Okay, but I don't think he'll do that.
No, I know he wouldn't. I'm just like
Same,
that's scary.
same with mine, but my parents are still best friends and they ended on really good terms, so
Yeah.
it's not gonna affect. Okay, I'm with my dad right now. Like, um, it's about 12. This was 12 years ago, and this was a long one, so we're gonna go to about 5 years ago. My mom started dating a guy she met on a dating site.
Oh heck no.
That part was fine. I had recently started dating the woman who would later become my wife that we had met online. I guess meeting online, people online is like fine and dating, but sometimes it's bad because they can catfish you.
No, because this is a creepy story. So something bad's gonna happen. Like he's like a skinwalker or something.
Yeah, like or like or like something like that. Like something like he could be a serial killer. Like he can catfish.
Yeah.
You could be in it. That's why I don't want to date online.
Well,
Ever.
obviously, because they met, it wasn't a catfish, but he could still be lying about stuff.
Yeah, but this guy met his wife on there, and they were a wife now. But this was 5 years ago, so maybe something happens. I'll just refer to her as my wife for this story. Anyways, my wife and I, it was his girlfriend at the time this thing happened, but he's gonna refer to his wife because they're not girlfriend anymore. Like they're wife and husband now.
Yeah.
My wife and I had never really liked this guy. We didn't think he was mean or anything like that, just a little creepy. He was quiet, he kept his eyes closed a lot, and occasionally said odd things like offering my wife chocolate and popping one out of his mouth and closing his eyes and moaning as he let it melt in his mouth.
Oh, that's
He
not.
needs like chocolate when you go like like when it's good, but like that's still weird.
Oh, okay. I thought it meant something else. Okay, carry on.
Like when you eat food and you're like this is so good.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let me skim through the story really quick to make it so it's like appropriate.
Yeah. The awkward silence.
Yeah. So, oh wow, okay, it's appropriate. It's appropriate.
Okay.
Um, um, sorry, I'm trying to start where we were at. One time my wife and I were visiting my mom, but she got called into work, so we waited at her house. Her boyfriend was over, but he spent the entire several hours just hanging out in her bedroom with the door closed. Just before Christmas, my mom and this guy started having some difficulties. My wife and I was visiting for the holidays, and she dropped off all of her problems on us. And we listened carefully and told her our opinions, and suggested that she would be better off without him. She already made up her mind though, and decided to break up with him on Christmas Eve. We spent the night at my mom's and got up early Christmas morning to visit my dad at his house. We didn't plan to spend the night at my dad's, but we got snowed in, which was actually nice Christmas surprise. The next day we left as soon as we could get through the snow, and my wife suggested that we stop by my mom's house on the way so we could see that she was okay. My wife had a really bad feeling about my mom's now ex-boyfriends. Okay. My mom's car was in the driveway, but that doesn't mean but that doesn't mean much because she lives close enough to work that she often walks, and it hasn't snowed in her town. She never locks her door, which drives me crazy. So we let ourselves in. Then when we see blood oozing out of the refrigerator water dispenser, it had been filled up with the spill container and was leaking onto the floor and made a puddle. My wife screamed and I freaked out. As you probably would freak out.
Wait, what?
It was blood oozing out of the refrigerator.
Oh.
My wife screamed and I freaked out. I fully expected to see my mom's head in the freezer. I nervously opened the freezer to find a bag of frozen cherries that had been opened and crammed into the freezer, so that made it fall into the ice dispenser and melted.
Wait, why did you say blood though?
Because I thought my mom was decapitated. Recap. I thought my mom was decapitated by a previous.
Because you thought it was blood, so you wanted us to also. Okay.
So this is not like this happened. Like no one got hurt, but like it would still become terrifying to see blood. Like what you think is blood oozing out of the refrigerator. I would have screamed and ran out of the house. I would not have opened it.
Yeah. So is there more?
That's it.
Then what? That's not really scary.
I know it wasn't. It was just something that scared him, but I think he put it under the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But you can read. Are you still eating, or do you want me to read another one, or do you want to read your?
I'm not eating, but like yeah, you can. I'm gonna get something to eat now that you mention it.
Okay.
So yeah, you can read this. If it's something about eating, I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna be like, I ain't eating nothing ever. Just like
I'm gonna say one more one. This one was short.
Alright.
You can find in a different category because this kind of ran out of good ones.
Yeah.
Because they're not scary anymore. They're just like, I thought it was this. I don't care. I'm actually looking for scary ones. Bro, I don't care. Okay. Let me recap this one, make sure it's okay.
And then I'll read mine too, because mine are actually scary. I kind of skimmed through them to make sure they're appropriate. They are kind of scary.
Yeah, I skimmed through mine appropriate, and this one was only 2 years ago.
Ooh.
Only 2 years ago, and it's from savings-ad1812.
Okay.
My father passed away in 05. I think he meant 5. No, 05. My dad passed away in 05.
Oh, 05. 2005.
Oh, but he just said it 2 years ago, so it didn't happen 2 years ago. But he said it 2 years ago. My father passed away in 2005. My daughter was just over 1 year old. So my husband at the time, sister, baby, and myself moved onto the farmlands. My father had before he passed away. Now leading up to the night in my question, my ex, husband, my ex-husband, would wake me up a few times a week at a certain time. So it was her husband at the time, her husband at the time, but I think it's her ex-husband now.
Okay.
I don't even know. Would wake up a few times at a certain time in the night saying, a male voice saying, a male voice is in your sister's room. Half awake, half asleep, I told him. It's the old man. As still in a confused state, I could hear my father talk.
Wait, what?
Didn't you say the father died?
Yeah. So, like, was she listening and, like, could hear her father talking in her sister's room?
Yeah, that's what she said. Her daughter's room.
Oh, her daughter's room. I thought it said sister.
It did say sisters. For me, it said sisters. This is like a really confusing story. A couple months later, I was standing in the kitchen making a potato salad, and behind me, the voice of my father said, "Tennille, something is wrong with your sister's name." Freaking out, I let out this blood-curdling scream. Left it for a day or two thinking about if we are losing our minds, but my father's spirit was restless. Saw his reflection coming out of his room a couple times, having louder discussions with my sister that swears she doesn't remember speaking to him in her sleep. Having sat down with my sister, it came to a light that
What?
I was being blank, and my dad did only thing that he wants to do, protect his offspring.
Have honey. What? I have honey.
He was being too impulsive. Let me say. Okay.
Is that it?
Said she was being assaulted, and my dad did the only thing a dad would always do, protect his offspring.
Yeah. Sorry. But is
Hello?
that it?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'll read my first one.
Oh,
Okay.
about the story, I think it's only scared of you if you believe in paranormal stuff. That's what I'm gonna say to you guys watching.
Yeah. Especially when
It
they
could
leave
have
it as
been her
a
dream.
cliffhanger, just like, we didn't hear my dad anymore. Like, what happened after that? Like, is there any more
Yeah.
paranormal stuff?
Yeah, I think it's just if you believe in paranormal, there you go. It's a true story for you. If you don't, it's probably not gonna be the funnest to you.
Okay. So this one says tough to pick just one, but is true evil in humanity out there. Stuff like the blood evil ritual is pretty awful. Okay, so if you guys don't know what that is, it's a Viking tradition, and if you are like younger than 18, I would not search it up because
I'm
it's
younger than
scary.
18 and I don't know what it means.
It's scary. I think Olivia knows what I'm talking about.
I don't.
Okay, so basically Vikings would take enemies and they would like cut a thing in their back and like open their ribs and then lay
Okay,
their
we don't need to hear about that yet, guys.
Yeah.
Could be.
Spread eagle.
blood eagles.
Blood eagle. They open you from your chest.
Yeah, I thought it was the back. That's why it was called the blood eagles because they look like leaves.
They split your chest open.
Okay,
They
don't.
disconnect your rib
This is a
cage.
family-friendly podcast, Mom. Mama.
Well, you're the one talking about it.
Okay. Yeah, no, we don't need to hear that. Okay.
You're the one talking about it.
Okay. But in terms of stuff really scary, probably stuff that happens on accident. Like the story of Kylie Plush is just awful. He was in a minivan that has one of those back seats you push backwards. I think it's supposed to say forwards to lay flat. Or no, back. Yeah, it's backwards. Backwards to lay flat in the trunk for extra storage space. He went and grabbed something from the trunk, leaning over the seat, and tipped it backwards, pinning him upside down against the back of the car in a position he couldn't get himself out of. He called the police twice. The second time he called, and gave them a very clear description of the car. Plush called 911 again around 3:35 p.m. The police said this time he provided a description of the vehicle. He desperately pleaded for help, but couldn't hear dispatchers. Isaac had the information. I think it's supposed to say dispatch. Said that information didn't get relayed to the officers at the scene. This is not a joke, a teen said over 911. I'm almost dead. He asked the dispatcher to tell my mom I love her if I die. Just a horrible random accident that could have happened to anyone. This kid didn't go looking for trouble. He didn't try and go down a chimney or go caving like other people who have gotten stuck and suffocated. He just reached for something in his trunk, got pinned, and then was not found in time. Nightmarish stuff for the kid and his family.
Okay.
Okay, this is the next one. I don't regret many things in my life, but I do regret this one deeply. I was leaving work in 2001. I believe So while cell phones were common, not everyone had one. I worked in a small office building, the ones that rented out small spaces and had several small businesses. I had stayed late one day. Only reason I feel as bad as I do. As I was leaving, I noticed it. Only I was the only other car in the parking lot. I noticed the property manager, an elderly lady, and very sweet, getting out of the car next to the dumpster holding a bag of trash. I drove past her, turned the corner, and went home. This was on a Friday night. Come to find out, she put her... Thank you, Mama. Yes, I will. I'll go to sleep.
No, honey.
Yeah, I know that will help me go to sleep.
No, this is mine. I'll make you some better.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you guys are going to sleep. I thought that was mine. Okay, anyway. Come to find out, she didn't put her car in park. I get in Monday to the news. She was pinned between the dumpster and her car until found on Sunday. Our dumpster is not visible to any main road. I had been 30 seconds later. Had I been 30 seconds later and leaving, I would have seen it happen. Being elderly, the low impact still pinned her and broke some bones. Even though she was found alive, she didn't make it at the hospital. I don't know if I had seen it happen, I would have been able to react fast enough to warn her, jump out, push the car. It wasn't altering, and it wasn't an altercation or foul play, just rolling slow and neutral. Or if
Okay.
Or if I would have just been able to call 911, treat her injuries treatable after not being outside for 2 days. I can't imagine her mindset. We were in a commercial area, no real reason for anyone to be immediately within earshot if she did call for help. Which
Okay.
I'm sure she did many times.
That was weird. That was creepy. Okay.
That was creepy and sad.
Okay.
Like poor grandma.
I have one that might send chills when you find. It's the Bunny Man.
Nah, you're doing the boogeyman?
The Bunny Man.
Oh, the bunny. Oh, I've heard about the bunny man. I think Call Me Chris did one about the bunny. My mom's also heard about the bunny man. Look on her face. She was just like, nope, nuh-uh.
The reason one's scary is because the Bunny Man is an urban legend that was true. It was true.
It's also in America.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you the story. In Fairfax County, Virginia, it was started. In Fairfax County, Virginia, a couple was sitting in their car parked. And there's a slash of their windshield breaking with an axe breaking it. The axe would hit the windshield, and what they saw, because it was dark outside, so obviously they couldn't really tell. It was a guy, they said, in a bunny costume with bunny ears, with an axe that they hit in the window, and he said, you guys are trespassing and stuff like that. Get out of here before I split your head in two, and something like that. And then obviously is what I would be. So there's an axe in my window, I would run. They speed their car straight to the police station where they said what happened, and then the police said, hey, we looked and there's nothing, we can figure out any clues. So here's the axe that we found in your window that he threw in your window back. This is the 1970s, by the way.
Yeah. Also.
So they just gave him the axe back.
Also, back then, and even nowadays, people do stuff like that where they run around with fake axes or stuff. But this wasn't teenagers pulling a prank. This was full-grown 6-foot-tall man just jamming axes into people.
Yeah. Except he actually never did actual murders, but
yeah, no, he didn't do actual murders, but he attacked people with axes.
Yeah. And then one time, a man was driving by a house, and on vacant property, he saw a man in a rabbit costume holding an axe, hitting the pole that holds up the porch on a vacant house, hitting it. And then when he got out of the car to make sure it was okay, because this is a vacant house, you can't be doing that vandalism. You're vandalizing it.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, you're trespassing. he said, while chasing with the axe, if you don't get away right now, I'm gonna burst up your head. And obviously, as out of Tochibi, he ran to the car is trying to grab his gun to hold against himself. But by the time they look back, he's just saw the bunny hopping. This is a human in a bunny costume, hopping into the forest. That was only 10 days later. So now everybody's getting scared. Everybody's scared to let their children go to school. Everybody's like, it's Halloween sticking around, and everybody's scared to let their children go to Halloween, like go trick or treating. And well, if I was a mom, this is 1970s though. They were weird back then. I would not let my kids go trick or treating. I'm not gonna let my kids go trick or treating.
Yeah, no.
No, I would never. But some people did because it's the 1970s. Okay. And then, of course, after that, they started getting millions and millions of calls in saying we'll see the bunny man. We saw him in the forest. Some of these just being popularity calls just to be part of it.
Yeah.
Some not actually being legitimate, but the police were saying, we don't have any clue. They said they can't find him. He's unidentified. We don't know where he is. And then another guy was on a construction site. He was working on a construction site, and he got, obviously, the bunny man, a different vacant house with his axe hammering at a porch pole. And he went over there to see what was going on again, even though I saw a man in a bunny costume with an axe, I'd immediately run. I would not go close. But he's like, trespassing again? Come here or else I'll chop your head off. And then obviously the guy ran, and police station, he reported it. Police kept saying they have no information because he just kept hopping back into the forest. He would always hop back into the forest, he would just hop back into the forest, every time. He never actually hurt someone, but he was threatening and he was vandalizing, and he's a dangerous guy.
Yeah.
I know we could have been girl, but like the people described it hearing a guy. They described the guy voice, but it could have been girl, it could have been a girl, but I'm gonna say they.
Yeah, like, and the bunny man, like, it's thought that he had, like, not astigmatism, had schizophrenia.
Yeah.
And that's why he was, like, hopping, and why he was in a bunny costume, and, like, even on public property, why he was like, you're trespassing.
Yeah. And then, obviously, as time grew older, they never caught him. He's never been caught. He's probably dead by now, I'm gonna say it. But he could still be out there. He's not still out there, actually. I think he's dead, probably, because this is 1970s and he's a grown man. He's probably dead from old age, you know?
Yeah. I have one.
Okay. And then they made this thing called the Bunny Bridge. So kids started like making urban legends and conspiracy theories. Like if you go by the Bunny Bridge, it's like this creepy creek, like super creepy thing. And if you say Bunny Man 3 times at 12 o'clock on Halloween, the Bunny Man will appear. But don't expect to survive. He'll slaughter you and then hang you to the fence on the Bunny Bridge.
Which obviously never happened, even to the people who did try it.
It's an urban legend.
Yeah. It's like if you went to a mirror and spun it with only candlelight and said Bloody Mary 3 times.
Yeah, I did that once. I was at a sleepover, and it was at night, and they went me to the bathroom. They said play Bloody Mary 3 times. I was like, I'm gonna go first. I'm not scared, guys. So I took a candle, and I went in there to Bloody Mary 3 times, but they kept holding the door shut when I tried to run out. It was the worst experience of my life.
Funny thing. So I'm gonna use our friend. Her name starts with an S. Olivia knows who she is. I'm gonna call her Ashley. That's not her name. It's just I don't know if she would want her name on the internet.
Yeah.
But Olivia knows who I'm talking about.
Mhm.
So Ashley, she dared me to do Bloody Mary. I went into the bathroom with a candle, but like she had a remote that could control the candle. Like it was one of those fancy candles. Like it was an electronic candle, but it was one of the fancy ones that were like LED remotes and stuff like that. You could turn it off and on with a remote. I went in there and I did the Bloody Mary. Ashley turned off the candle and held the door shut. And I got so scared.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna be scared, but then I got stuck in there. I'm like, no, get me out.
Yeah.
It's not good, guys.
Anyway, this one is
it didn't happen to me. I'm good.
This one is mine.
And guys, if you get easily scared, don't watch these because
Yeah, no, most of these are going to be scary.
yeah, some of them might probably are not real, like the paranormal ones, but they probably could be real scared. I wouldn't watch
It
this.
will always be very descriptive, like in the title will be like this one will be reading creepy Reddit stories that may or may not be true.
And before the video starts, we'll put a disclaimer saying there is horror stuff
Yeah.
like that, violence and horror and violence. That's it. It's
Yeah.
nothing inappropriate.
I edit the videos for this, and I make like, if you guys were wondering, like I made like the banner for our thing and our
Yeah, she's a good artist. I'm not.
yeah, and I like edit it in CapCut, so which Olivia can do too. Just I feel like since I'm the artist and I would have to send her the stuff and it would be too much work for me to just send her, that I'm gonna edit it. So basically, I'm just gonna make like an art disclaimer that says like at the beginning before like even the audio starts, just like, hey, this is horror and might have some sensitive topics.
Yeah.
If you're sensitive to scary things, even like mildly scary, skip past this video.
Yeah, and we're gonna post 2 times a week, so I'll edit one of the videos per week, and she'll edit one of them. But she'll always make the art, so like shout out to her. She's making the art for all of it. I'm not, but she's gonna send me the art because I'm just not good at doing art things. I'm not an artist, but she'll send me it and I'll put it in.
Yeah.
It's by her. It's by her. She did the art. And by the way, we have other YouTube channels, but we're staying anonymous, so we're not saying it.
Yeah, no, because they both show our faces and have names. If you recognize them by the voice, cool, good for you. Please do not go in the comment section or
And say this is them. This is them. This is them. Sometimes you're probably gonna be wrong. Most of the time, you're probably gonna be wrong if you're small channels, not big ones.
Yeah.
But like, please don't do that. If you're our friends, if you like find a channel like this is Olivia, this is Olivia Misty, which is our title, so not like outing us. Please don't comment, please, guys.
yes. Mine,
Your video will be deleted.
like, and don't go searching up like Olivia, Missy, trying to find our channels, because we would like to stay anonymous.
Yeah.
Who we
Maybe
are.
who knows? Maybe we'll do a video like in 500 years. Probably like
Yeah.
5 years.
Like when we're older, we might do like a channel reveal where we do our main channels, or like a face reveal.
Yeah, we want to keep this anonymous for like our ages, anonymous, everything's anonymous.
Yeah, like like when we're older, maybe like 15, 16,
Mm-hmm.
and like older, like you can tell by
Or
our
our channel's
voices we're
popular.
young.
Our channel's more popular.
Yeah, like more popular, more people want to see our faces or stuff like that. Then we'll do it. But right now, as like a small content creators, we aren't gonna do face reveals.
Yeah.
Okay, but this one is by Laura McCabe Moon, 6 years ago. It says, I used to have an incredibly chill, skittish little Siamese cat. Not a fighter, not a ruffian. She would hide under the bed when anyone came to the house. Landlords and repair workers would say, I thought you said you had a cat. She was extremely loyal and bonded to me. When I lived in an attic apartment, which it basically just means, so like, it means like basically a house, but it has multiple levels. Like it has a basement, main floor, a top floor, another top floor, another top floor, and then an attic. Basically, she's saying she lived in the very top floor. She lived in the attic. Where the front door opened to stairs. Yeah, so it's basically like a really tall apartment building, and she lives at like the top. Or like think of New York, or if you guys have ever seen Secret Life of Pets, like those kind of stairs in apartments.
Yeah.
And the stairs went straight up to the living room. So her front door was in her living room. One night she was standing at the foot of the stairs inside the house. So like I'm imagining like it's carpet stairs down to the door and then it's metal stairs down.
Yeah, I'm imagining that too.
Yeah. She was standing at the foot of the stairs inside the house, yowling her head off. This howling and yowling was really going to, like, she was really going to town on it. So basically, that's a metaphor for younger viewers saying she was going at it. She was, like, very persistent at doing this. I'm half asleep and listening to her, wondering why the frick she would, or why the flip she why she was doing this, wishing she would stop. Then I hear it. A hand grabs the doorknob, turns it, click, turns it again, click, turns it again, click. Someone is quietly but forcefully trying to jimmy the door and jimmy open the door by twisting the knob hard in the middle of the night. Boom,
Nope.
boom.
Yeah.
I'm awake. I'm on my feet are on the floor. I'm immediately vertical. My cat races to the top of the stairs, looks at me, her eyes up and down, her eyes fall silent. She had done her job and gotten my butt up. This is about 2 a.m. and my boyfriend at the time would sometimes come home super late from his
Is this a different
overnight
story?
job. So the first thing I do is call him and whisper.
Missy.
Yeah?
Is this a different story now?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
it's the same story.
Oh, it is. Okay, after this one, let's read this one. Let's finish this one, and then let's read one more, and I think that's the end of our episode.
Yeah. And we'll do our outro and stuff. He would come home late from his overnight job, so the first thing I did was call him and whisper, asking him if he was trying to get in the front door. He said, "What? Heck no. Call the cops now. Turn on all the lights in the house. Make noise. Get off the phone with me and call the cops. Then call me right back." I do that and the doorknob stops. The cops come and search the area and the block and find no one. It never happened again. After that, I also barricaded the door. I never forgot what could have been an extremely dangerous, if not brutal situation in the middle of the night was foiled by my gentle, scaredy cat with big saucer eyes, who was terrified of her shadow. But when stuff got real, she woke my butt up. I couldn't have asked more of a dog. My cats are really cool, no doubt. It says bad things, like good things about cats, but like cuss words, so I'm not gonna say it, but like cats are really cool, never doubt it. My girl has gone across the rainbow bridge, as they say, but I'll always treasure her loyalty and intelligence to it. Edit. I had a gun in the closet and was prepared to use it in case someone broke in.
It's interesting. When she was across the river, she was meaning her cat died.
Yeah. If you're Hispanic, they went across the Pedal Bridge over. If you're, for some reason, believe in Greek mythology, it's in the underworld, like stuff like that. Her cat's in a better place.
Yeah. So you guys know how the camera didn't catch anything? Like, because you didn't have a camera out there, a good hack would be put a camera, like, you could get a Ring camera, you could get, like, any camera. So if anyone tries to do that, first it will alert you saying someone's at your door, and also, like, be like, look and record it.
Yeah, it records any movement, so, like, if someone is trying to get in, they can probably use facial recognition and find the person.
Yeah.
So if you know the person.
Let's say you don't have enough money for a camera, which is fine, it's fine. But maybe get a sticker that says "Smile, you're on camera," so they think they're on camera, like there's a camera hidden somewhere, but there's not, and they won't come in.
Yeah. Which the Smile you're on camera, like, you can get them like probably for free from Walmart.
Yeah, cheaper. Yeah, but like if you can't, it's okay.
Yeah, like if not, they're like $5 on Amazon.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to read one more, or do you want me to read one more?
How about you read one more, like, kind of short one, and I read one more kind of short one.
Okay, I'll look for one. Okay, that was a weird one. The cat, guys. Cats are good, see?
Yeah. Moral of the story.
This video should be posted on Tuesday, so it's not, I don't know why. So on Tuesday, it's
posted Monday or Tuesday. Or maybe earlier, depending on when I get it done. Most likely Tuesday, though.
Yeah, if he doesn't get it done, and she let's say like text me tomorrow, she's like, I'm already done with it somehow, and we'll post it. Then we'll make a post it. We'll just post it 2 times a week. Just know that we're posting it 2 times a week.
Yeah, it most
If we
likely
don't
will
do
be.
that, we're dead. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yeah, it will most likely be Tuesdays and Thursdays, but we'll post literally whenever we get it done.
Yeah, and guys, if you're seeing sometimes, um, if you're seeing sometimes that we cut out, sometimes it gets a little bit glitchy because since we don't like she lives a couple hours, she lives 2 hours away from me, but we see each other, we still like visit each other. So when we visit each other, we'll probably make an episode when we visit each other too.
Yes, but like if it's like glitchy like this or like cuts out a bit, it's either I cut something out of the video to make the video shorter because it was too long, or it's because the camera or the audio cut out on our end of the phone.
Yeah, it just and we're because we have to be on call. But if we reach 50 subscribers and we do lives and stuff, we'll be together.
Or we'll do like a collab live where I'll be on probably an alternate account with like a close name to ours, so I don't give out my main account.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we can like maybe invite from wherever somebody on this channel that we want to have a special guest. Like
Yeah,
maybe one of our
we'll probably have special guests. Like as you heard earlier, my mom's here, and she went to school for crime. Like she has a criminal degree, so she'll probably be on here for some stuff too.
My mom went to school for history. There's crimes in history.
Yeah, like and if we have a history episode or like if we have an engineering episode, my stepdad might be here. But like yeah, we'll have special guests sometimes.
Okay, this is a really short one, so I'm gonna read it because it's a really short one and she's a really short
Okay.
one and we can do our on show say hey blah 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 next video blah, blah, blah. Yeah. My uncle was at a bar one night and started talking to this random guy. He described him as a really nice guy. He met him a few other times in the same bar. They drank and talked about random stuff. Soon after, my uncle stopped seeing this guy at the bar. I don't know how long after, but my uncle got notified that he had a jury duty. He showed up and found what it was for, a serial killer, and the killer was his friend from the bar. Derek Todd Lee.
No, I've heard about him.
Same. Oh my god. My uncle was promptly dismissed from the jury duty for obvious reasons.
Yeah, because you can't know the person if you're on jury duty.
Yeah.
That guy's uncle is probably going to be the next victim because I'm pretty sure he killed men he met at bars, specifically men.
Yeah, but I think he's caught now. That's what they were
Yeah,
saying.
he was.
So I think he's safe. Which is good.
Okay,
Okay.